Winners do not navigate the world the same way everyone else does. They don't process information like the crowd. They don't speak with the same vocabulary as the average person, and they certainly don't carry themselves with the posture of the status quo. There is an unmistakable aura about them, something fundamentally different in how they think, how they converse, and how they move through their daily lives. That distinction is the invisible line that separates monumental success from quiet failure. It is the factor that determines who ascends to the peak and who remains trapped in the valley of mediocrity. Winning is never an external event first. It is an internal realization. Long before success manifests in your bank account, your career, or your lifestyle, it must first establish residency in your mind. Winners understand that the brain is a muscle that must be rigorously trained for victory. They refuse to give negativity a seat at the table. They don't have the luxury of wasting time on paralyzing doubt, irrational fear, or the illusion of limitations. Instead, their mental energy is laser-focused on solutions, possibilities, and finding a strategic path to win, regardless of the obstacles in their way. Where the average person sees a wall, a winner sees a ladder. Where others see a dead end, they see a pivot point. Because they perceive failure and challenges through a different lens, they move with a level of certainty and poise that most people can't even fathom. But this isn't just about a hidden mental process. It's about how that mindset is broadcasted through their speech. The words they select, the way they talk to themselves in private, and the manner in which they communicate with the world all serve to reinforce their internal power. Their language is precise, intentional, and devoid of weakness. They don't indulge in the habit of complaining. They don't hide behind the shield of excuses. They speak in a way that naturally attracts success and commands immediate respect. Most people go through life never realizing that their thoughts and their words are the primary architects of their reality. They think small thoughts, so their world stays small. They speak from a place of insecurity, so they accidentally manifest more doubt. They obsess over what they can't do, and as a result, they remain perpetually limited. But the ones who occupy the winner's circle operate on a different frequency. They think big, They speak with authority, and they have trained themselves to surgically remove weak language and negative thought patterns from their system. They understand that their mind and their mouth must be perfectly aligned with the future they are trying to build. This isn't about fake it until you make it, or shouting empty motivational slogans. This is about deep-level rewiring from the inside out. It is about a fundamental shift in how you interpret the world, how you narrate your story, and how you visualize your potential. The truth is simple. You will never rise above the ceiling of your own thoughts and words. If your mind is weak, your life will inevitably mirror that fragility. If your words are hollow, your results will be empty. However, if you develop the mental discipline of a champion, if you train your voice to carry the weight of power and certainty, your life will transform at a speed that will surprise even you. The question you have to answer is, are you truly ready to start thinking and talking like a winner? Once you make that commitment, once you decide to change the very foundation of how you operate, there is no limit to your trajectory. Your thinking sets the course for everything. Before a single action is taken, your mind has already decided the outcome. Winners know that success begins with an internal dialogue. They guard their thoughts with the same intensity that a guard protects a fortress, because they know the mind is either their greatest ally or their worst enemy. Most people live in reaction mode, letting every external circumstance or passing opinion dictate how they feel and act. They don't realize that every thought they allow to take root is either building them up or tearing them down. Winners, however, take full ownership. They decide what they will focus on. They choose thoughts that support their ultimate mission. If you want to join them, you must develop the habit of directing your mind toward the solution, even when the problem is staring you in the face. This isn't about ignoring the harsh realities of life. It's about having the mental toughness to see the bigger picture and refusing to let a temporary setback break your spirit. While others see an ending, winners see a setup for a massive comeback. This mindset of a winner isn't a passive trait. It extends into every corner of their existence, their work, their health, and their relationships. Winners don't view effort as a burden to be avoided. They see it as the necessary down payment for the life they want. They don't sit around waiting for the feeling of motivation to strike. They understand a fundamental truth that escapes most people. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. While the average person waits until they feel ready or inspired, the winner knows that waiting is just a polite word for losing. You can see this difference in their very presence. You can see it in their eyes and hear it in the resonance of their voice. They don't speak in the language of maybe or perhaps. They have trained their minds to move with a level of certainty that is often mistaken for arrogance. But in reality, it is simply absolute clarity. Once a winner makes a decision, they don't waste a single second guessing it. This is precisely where most people stumble. They hesitate, they overthink, and they allow the poison of doubt to seep into their process. Every time you hesitate, you are effectively training your brain to believe that you aren't capable or that you aren't good enough. Winners, however, have eliminated hesitation from their vocabulary. They trust their intuition, they execute with confidence, and because of that, they move faster and achieve more in a single year than most people do in a decade. This is where the way you talk becomes your greatest tool for reprogramming. Your words are the software that programs your mental hardware. Most people are subconsciously sabotaging their own potential with the way they describe their lives. They say things like, "I've never been good at this," or "I'm just not a lucky person." Every time those words leave your mouth, you are making them a reality. You are literally instructing your brain to find evidence for your limitations. Winners do the exact opposite. They use their speech to build a fortress of strength. They don't talk about what they hope to do. They talk about what they will do. Instead of saying, "I don't know," they say, "I will figure it out." This isn't just wordplay. It's a deliberate strategy to shift your brain from a state of confusion to a state of execution. The more you speak with power, the more your brain begins to believe in that power. the more you reinforce your own confidence through your speech, the more you will actually feel that confidence in your bones. Winners are surgically deliberate with their language. They don't make jokes about their own weaknesses, and they don't speak in a way that makes them appear smaller than they are. Everything they say is in perfect alignment with the version of themselves they are becoming, and the world notices. The way you talk doesn't just influence your own mind. It dictates how the world responds to you. Communication is the ultimate leverage. The words you choose and the energy behind your delivery signal to everyone around you exactly what kind of person you are. In this life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you communicate. If you speak with authority and your words carry the weight of conviction, people will listen. Opportunities will gravitate toward you. Success will follow the sound of your voice. But if you speak with a wavering tone, if you hesitate, or if your language is cluttered with uncertainty, the world will simply look past you. Winners understand that communication is about more than just exchanging information. It's about commanding attention and influencing the environment. To do this, you must speak like someone who deserves to be in the room. Your voice must be sharp, your message must be direct, and your sentences must reinforce the fact that you are a person of action. This is why winners have a zero-tolerance policy for weak language. They don't dilute their statements with "I think" or "I hope." Instead of saying, "I think this might work," they say, "This is the path we are taking." Instead of "maybe I can," they say, "I will find the way." This shift in communication changes the social hierarchy around you. When you speak like a winner, people take you seriously. They respect your time and trust your judgment. But even more importantly, you start to trust yourself more deeply. The more you eliminate hesitation from your speech, the more decisive you become in your actions. It's a virtuous cycle. Decisive speech leads to decisive action, which leads to superior results. But mastering your voice isn't just about the words themselves. It's about the precision of your delivery. Winners don't ramble. They don't feel the need to over-explain themselves to seek validation. They say exactly what they mean, and then they let their words land. They understand the immense power of silence. While most people rush to fill every pause because they are uncomfortable with the stillness, winners use silence as a weapon. They know that a well-timed pause carries more weight than 100 nervous words. They take their time, they project their voice, and they make every syllable count. They treat communication as a high-level skill that must be sharpened every single day. Thinking and talking like a winner isn't just about projecting confidence. It's about achieving total internal alignment. Most people live in a state of constant contradiction. They think about success, but speak in the language of failure. They set ambitious goals, but immediately follow them up with a list of limitations and excuses. Because of this friction, their actions never truly align with their ambitions. Winners, however, ensure that everything is in sync. Their mindset is a bedrock of strength. Their words reinforce that foundation, and their actions flow naturally with power and certainty. This level of mastery requires constant self-awareness. Winners don't operate on autopilot. They are the auditors of their own minds, constantly listening to the quality of their thoughts and the tone of their speech. If a negative thought tries to take root, they uproot it immediately. If they catch themselves using weak or hesitant language, they correct it in real time. They have the discipline to silence the inner critic and the outer complainer. They understand that every sentence they utter is either pushing them toward their vision or pulling them back into the crowd. This discipline extends to their environment. Winners are the gatekeepers of their mental fortress. They understand that the fastest way to destroy a winning mindset is to let it be infected by the small thinking and cynicism of others. They don't take advice from people who haven't been where they want to go. Instead, they surround themselves with high-level thinkers and communicators who challenge them to rise. They curate their influences, ensuring that their daily conversations are productive, solution-oriented, and focused on growth. Ultimately, the way you think and speak creates a legacy that extends far beyond your own personal success. Your energy and your certainty are contagious. They lift up everyone in your sphere of influence. True leadership starts with the way you carry yourself and the words you choose to breathe into a room. You don't need a title to be a leader. You simply need the mindset and the voice of one. When you master your communication, you naturally attract respect, negotiate with authority, and inspire others to believe in what is possible. Every icon and game changer in history understood this. They didn't just have great ideas. They had the conviction to speak those ideas into existence. Now, the responsibility is yours. Will you take full control of your internal and external dialogue? Will you train yourself to operate at the frequency of a winner, with no exceptions and no excuses? This is the moment of transformation. By deciding right now to think, speak, and act as the person you were meant to be, you make success inevitable. You are no longer leaving your life to chance. You are becoming the architect of your own victory. Winners are not born. They are built from the inside out. Now, go and build yourself into one.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, superstars. Hope you had an absolutely incredible strong end. You know what I mean when I say strong end. Another saying for weekend. We don't want to do anything weak up here. But in the meantime, in between time, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and drop them 920s in the chat. If you're live with me on Beginners Trading Training on this incredible Sunday, May 31st, we're literally about to go into a new month, new goals, new execution, new everything, right? I know that's what everybody else says, right? So, I'll be dropping the book of the month. We will be going into this upcoming Sunday. We will be going into the book of the month and also the monthly mentorship call that I do once every Sunday in collaboration with the book of the month. So if you haven't been reading the book of the month for May, then you still got an opportunity to be able to have some say-so in the call on this upcoming Sunday. All right, so look, let's get into tonight's session. As you guys know, it is always about the approach. It is always about the approach on a Sunday beginners live trading training call, right? And the one thing I want to make sure that I do, okay, just moving and shaking, okay, cool. The one thing I want to make sure that I do is really stay consistent with making sure I really stick to the basics on these Sunday calls, you know, especially when there's new people coming in, being a part of the environment, and people just really want to capture what it really takes to get started in trading, what should I be focusing on, et cetera, et cetera. Now, clearly I can't do the exact same call every time a brand new person come on board, like as if I'm starting over, but it'll all come back full circle, okay? So hopefully I had an incredible Sunday. I know I did. This strong end for me was a really light one, I would have to say. I really kind of took some time for myself, kind of shut things off, phone, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking at nothing. I said I really wanted to enjoy the 24 hours on Saturday, the 24 hours today. Even though I'm back to grind mode today, I'm extremely grateful for getting an opportunity just to, I don't want to say decompress, but really refocus on what the mission is. We're working toward freedom, but also with what I have planned over the course of the next 6 months. So let's get into tonight's session. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We will definitely always go through the approach as soon as a person get up here and as soon as you get started in trading. But today it's going to be about something that I grew to learn very fast, something that I grew, I would say, to master. And the reason why I say to master is because I executed with excellence, right? I executed with excellence and I get the results based on me executing. So let me share my screen Share my screen, cause you need to see. All right, there we go. Perfect. So we're going to talk about what, Mr. Howell? For the brand new person that's been on the sessions, that's been learning market structure, seeing how the market moves, understanding how the market moves, understanding what a PIP is, what a stop loss is, what a take profit, all the other good stuff. Understanding that this $7.5 trillion per day market is available 24 hours, 5 days a week. That person knows that. And now they want to really get in the market and they want to start executing. They want to start executing because they want to learn when to get in and when they can get out. They want to learn how to find the entry and also how to find the exit and also how to find my stop loss, right? And so tonight is all about the Head and Shoulder Masterclass, okay? And I'm going to go over this information. We're going to look at this on the live charts, right? We're going to go through our routine as it pertains to looking for setups or your approach as it pertains to being a trader and what you should be doing in the beginning of the week. I really want to dive head first into this market structure type setup that really will help the person that really wants to compound your account. Because you can find the head and shoulder pattern, the inverted head and shoulder pattern. You can find this setup on any market, and you can trade it on any market. Okay, so what is the head and shoulder pattern? Well, what was told to me years ago was the head and shoulder pattern is actually the number one reversal pattern in the market. And I believe that person when they told me that, because when I went to TradingView and I saw that they actually had a tool to help you map out it, I knew it had to be of some importance, right? But it's the number one reversal pattern in the market, right? Where your head peaks and your shoulders are low, right? It's just like how you got a left shoulder, a right shoulder, and a head, right? So you got a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and it really suggests a trend exhaustion. I'm going to add something to this because as I've traded the head and shoulder pattern, as I've learned it, studied it, and I still, to this day, what I realize is this is when I would say the big boys try to catch you slipping. And the reason why I say the big boys is try to catch you slipping, because when the market gives you a left shoulder, it is giving you a higher high and a higher low. It'll start off with a high, then it'll give you a low. And as that market starts uptrending, it'll start giving you higher highs and higher lows, which we call left shoulders. And it's right when you think the market will still go up higher, we say the big boys comes in. And the big boys is who create the head, right? So what we like to do is we like to wait for the big boys to come in, and we like to come behind them and get what we call the scraps, right? So we let the left shoulder form. We let the head form. We realize that we can't call anything ahead until we get 100% retracement of the neckline. And then we wait to catch what's over here on the right side of the market, which we're looking for that right shoulder. Now, the head and shoulder pattern consists of a left shoulder, which is the first high. A retracement will follow that, right? That's pretty much kind of what I was just talking about, right? The head is a higher high, and you're looking for that retracement, okay, to come back to that low. Now, your right shoulder becomes a lower high near the left shoulder zone, okay? Now, how do you enter and exit these type of trades? Well, the most important thing you want to do is you want to wait for the neckline break and retest, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on, Mr. Howell. What do you mean wait for the neckline to break and retest? Now, sometimes you're going to have where the market gives you 100% retracement. There will be sometimes what was known as a change of character, right? But the objective is to see that market at minimum come back to that neckline to give you 100% retracement. Once that happens, you're waiting for the retest in the same area as that left shoulder. And this is where we get the right shoulder that gives us that lower high, because that's what we're selling. What you want to do is you want to enter on the rejection candle or an engulfing. I think the beautiful thing I love about identifying the head and shoulder pattern, knowing a lot of times when it will give it to us, is when we see how our left shoulder look, or if there's multiple left shoulders in the same zone and or area of the left shoulder, right? So that's the one thing I love. Remembering the stop loss always goes above your right shoulder, and your take profit is really based on what they call the height, but clearly your take profit becomes that sell zone that you're getting that retest at, and then allowing that market to come back down to support that trading range, right? Also, any area above where your entry is for the right shoulder, you're looking for structure, right? You're looking for that previous high. So that's where you can actually put that stop loss at, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys on the actual chart what this looks like. But the one thing I want you to do, I want you to become a master student to just practicing. Practicing what, Mr. Howell? Just identifying these setups, right? When you identify them, what I would do if I were you, I would identify them. Once I identify them, then I would take a screenshot of them. But before you take a screenshot of them, what I would want you to do is I would want you to label what you see. Label the left shoulder. Label the neckline. Label the head. Label where the right shoulder was given. And get in the habit of training yourself to see it. Because the more you see it, when you're looking for it based on like a homework assignment, the more you'll eventually end up seeing it when you find an opportunity or a setup, right? Yes, I want you to include your target. I want you to include your stop loss. Why? Because I want you to get in the habit of having the confidence to take your own trades. That's what this is all about. It's great listening to me. It's great seeing me call out trades. It's great seeing me execute. But the goal is, have you built a ratio yet? Have you created your own personal ratio? And that's what I had to learn to do. I had to learn to create my own ratio. What do you mean your ratio? Well, what I did was I took a series of trades. I took a series of trades in multiples of 10, right? I was told once you start winning at least 6 to 7 trades, it was really 7 to 8, but I'm going to tell y'all 6 to 7. Once you start winning at least, I would say at least 7 to 8 trades out of 10, yeah, you're ready to trade live on your own. Now, if your risk management is proper and you're not over leveraging, then 6 to 7 trades. And the reason why I say that is because you can call out 6 to 7 trades, right? Let's just say from 6 trades, lose 4 and still be up. Greatly, though, if your risk management is right. But what I did was I said, you know what? I got to get to that 7 to 8, right? So over the course of time, based on my decisions, based on me calling trades, I end up establishing my ratio, right? And my ratio was 7 to 8 trades out of 10 on a consistent basis. So I can probably even go back and look over the course of the last maybe, let's just say 60 days. And I still have that ratio right now, just out of the calls that I've made, right? The year before this, last year, called out a ton of trades, right? We did a trading challenge, with 60 trade challenge, where we take 60 trades and we're looking to get 60 wins, right? I believe the current one was I called 60 out, and it was 70. Oh, I'm sorry. How many? I think it was Was it 15 or 16? I think it was a 15 or 16 losses I took out of 70. I think it was, no, you know what? I think it was 18 losses. So out of 78 trades called, I only lost 18, I believe. And then before that, it was I called out 60 trades and I only lost 12, so it's 72, right? So I share that with you because You want to get into that habit. I don't care if it's a 0.01 lot size, but the goal is to get to the point where now you can do it on your own. Am I going anywhere? No. But to get you to that confidence point where you can say, hey, look, I took this trade, I call this trade based on what I saw. Now, if you are taking trades and you're losing them, you have to, I can't say you have to. It's totally up to you if you want to get better. But you got to bring those losses to the call. Bring those losses to the call. Bring them into the chat. Hey, look, I took this trade. I thought I saw this, and this is why I lost this trade. So I can see where you're having an issue at. That's the only way you're going to get better. Okay? So practice identifying this, and you can do it in your demo account. Right? Do it in your demo account. Find about 3+ of them on a weekly basis. Mark your necklines just like I shared with you. Identify the shoulders, stop loss, take profit, all that good stuff. But most importantly, journal how you feel, and also journal your entry and your exits. Okay, this will be good for you, especially if you're a beginner or you haven't got to that point where you've become extremely consistent. Okay, it was everything that I held myself back from doing that liberated me in becoming a better trader. I can truly tell you that, because in the beginning, you couldn't get me to journal. In the beginning, you couldn't get me to write nothing. Why? Because I was having just so much fun, getting in and getting out of the market. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was really focused on building building my business at the time. So it wasn't, I didn't move as fast as I should have. But once I did, then everything kind of changed for me. Everything changed for me when I did exactly step by step what was asked of me. And that's when I really got better. And so now, even if I walked away from trading right now, let's say, for instance, I say I'm not going to trade for a whole month. When I come back, guess what? I'm going to be even sharper. You know why I'm going to be even sharper? Because guess what? I can't forget what is already in me. So I know exactly what to look for. Left shoulders, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. Looking for the head, right? Inverted. It doesn't matter. It's forever with me. And once you get this, it's forever with you, right? I spent a little bit of time today listening to a really good friend of mine. And I was listening to a really good friend of mine, and he just reminded me of why we need to be mastering this skill, why we need to be taking a skill like this serious, why we need to learn to execute, be locked in, get on the right side of money. Just reminded me. And I smiled because I'm like, man, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just reminding people, giving them the resources so they'll know exactly what to do, man, regardless of what's happening in this world. You know what I mean? And so it brought joy to me. So let's look at this real quick. Now, I'm going to show you something that we already have out there. Okay, I'm going to show you something that we already have out there. But I want to show you this because it's an example that I can use right now. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. It's an example I can use, right? So let me share my screen because I know you're probably like, oh my God, Cam. Can't see. All right. So I'm still waiting for this GJ trade to come up here to this level right here to give us this sell-off. That's what I'm still waiting for. And so I know I'm probably going to be waiting for that, right? But I want you to see something, okay? I want you to see something. I want you to see something. How beautiful it is to look and find the head and shoulder pattern or the inverted. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this right here, and then I'm going to put it back, okay? Clearly, you should already have this pending order still in. I still have this pending order in. It's not going nowhere. All right, perfect. Here we go. All right, cool. So I'm going to act like none of that happened, okay? And I know I can do that a different way, but I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to act like none of that happened. We're going to act like this right here is just the market, okay? And so when you're looking to identify the head and shoulder pattern, the cheat code to doing this is always having the pattern right beside you. I don't know what I just did. All right, I don't know what this is. What I just did. All right, let me take that off. What's that? I don't know what I did. Okay. All right, let me move back here. Let's go here. Thank you, the poly. All right, there we go. The cheat code is always having the pattern in front of you. Okay? Always having the pattern in front of you. Always having the confirmations to the pattern in front of you. Whether you draw them out or not, guys, you have the pattern on the PDF, right? On the PowerPoint. You have the inverted, okay? It's labeled. This is the structure you're looking for. So anytime I approach the charts, this is what I'm potentially looking at. I'm looking at this structure right here, this left shoulder, and I'm looking for a head. Now, the market is not going to all the time give you just this one structure, right? It's going to give you a left shoulder here. It may go up higher, give you another one. It may go higher, right? The most important thing you have to learn to do is chart up and identify your market structure. What is market structure, Mr. Howe? Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. I always like to start on the daily time frame. Sometimes I'll skip around. Maybe I'll start on the 4 hour. Okay, then I'll go to the daily or the 1 hour. It just depends on how the candles look, right? And so for this example that I'm using, you can see clearly there was an uptrend. Okay, so the market gave us an uptrend. What I want you to see is the market will give you a regular left shoulder, and it'll also give you a inverted shoulder. I want you to peep what I just shared with you. When the market gives you a left shoulder, a regular left shoulder, okay? Left shoulder right here. It's not sliders on this thing, man. Let me move that right there. Look this. When the market gives you a left shoulder, and it gives you a neckline, and that market pushes up higher, it also gave you a what? A inverted. Okay? It also gave you a inverted. I'll move that out the way, man. There we go. All right, perfect. It also gave you a inverted left shoulder. So when I share with you guys how you should be looking at the market, you should always be looking at the market both ways. Anytime the market gives you a higher high and a higher low, just know that that market also gave you a inverted left shoulder and a neckline. So when I saw this and I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I'm always looking for breakouts. So I said, ooh, the market closed below this neckline. So I can look at this a couple of ways. I can say left shoulder, all this becomes the head, large candle closed below, wait for the retest, sell the market. That's what the market did, right? Got you in, gave you about a good 39 pips. That's not a long trade to stay in. So on the 1 hour time frame, there's probably some support in this area that you would have had to identify to know that this market is not coming way down here, so don't even think about it, okay? But what happened next? Market went on about its business, came back up here. So when the market came back up here, if you were looking at this market from both perspectives and you really saw this large candle right here, this should have triggered you to say, you know what? Oh, we got us an inverted head. This is a breakout. Up here ain't number consolidation, right? So although this market gave you this right here, kind of gave you like a little 30 pips or so, little right shoulder from here to here. It ain't come all the way down here. It did right here, but you could have got a little right shoulder off of that because this market right here gave you a lot of support in this area, then the market broke out. So you could have got that too. I wouldn't have been looking for that. But once the market showed me this and came here, I knew when that market came back here, I should be getting a right shoulder. So it gave you a right shoulder. It gave you another right shoulder. Came back, gave you another right shoulder. Now, you're probably going to ask this question, and I'm going to answer it before you ask it. So, Mr. Howe, if the market gives you 100% retrace on the neckline and it comes back and gives you one right shoulder and it comes back down, should you try to take the second one? My answer to you is no, because it's not all the time going to give you that, right? Now, if I caught this first one and it came back, I'm not looking for it to stop right there again. I'm just not. I want to catch the first move. I want to catch the first move because the other moves are not promised. But what happens here is that here's the market giving you support on a lower low, and this is a lower high. If we're looking at it from the perspective of an inverted head and shoulder pattern. And then that market gives you a breakdown to the low. Okay? It gave you 100% retracement of the neckline. You got the right shoulder. When you start looking at how this market came here multiple times, at that time, that was a great deal of support. So this became a very strong support. And in order for this to no longer be a support, guess what? Only thing that could break that is a large candle. Do you see how large that candle is? That's the mother of all mother candles. So somebody really wanted to break that zone. They knew they had to, right? So we got to break below a left shoulder. We got to break below massive support because of the rejection. So when that market comes back, because it has not come back, I should be getting a inverted head and shoulder violation. This structure right here. Market gave us an inverted left shoulder. Came down, gave us 100% retracement. Gave us the right shoulder. Not one time, but multiple times. All right, cool. Large candle closed below this support level. Wait for the retest, sell the market. Why am I confident in this trade? Anybody knows? Drop it in the chat. Why am I confident that that should be a very strong sell zone? Drop it in the chat. Why am I confident that that's going to be a very promising trade idea? A very strong rejection area. Anybody knows? Drop it in the chat. Now, yes, I am looking at this as a inverted head and shoulder violation, but I also can look at it as the lifeline. Why can't I look at it as a lifeline, Kev? Because market goes up, pulls back. Market went up, pulls back. Support. Market went up. Large candle closed below. Wait for the retest, sell the snow. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the market. All this means is that it's just double confirmation. That's what it means. It's double confirmation to let me know that that's a solid sell zone. Now, I know you see it. Well, Kev, you got 3 take profits. Where do you think the market is going to come to? This is when you start looking at current market structure. When this market rejects, I shouldn't expect that market to come way down here. Okay? So what I start doing, I start looking over here. I start looking at where these highs are. I start looking at where the market reject, right? And at some point, this may push up, right? So I'm going to go to the line chart. Boom. And I'm going to say to myself, you know what, Kev? There's a strong possibility this market will come to this zone. And it's probably going to come here. Maybe take profit 2 and wick. And then it's going to be on about its business, right? So I can probably almost assure you that we should get take profit 2, right? Market to come to take profit 2, okay? Especially if there's a large candle that leaves this area. Large candle close above this area, I already know. When it come back here. And now what I can do, once we get that quick move, maybe about a good 30 plus pips or so, right? Now, I'm looking up here. I'm looking at where can we get a reversal up here? Because here we got left shoulder, right? Market pushed up, came back in here. Market came up, came here. And so I'm looking at where this market closed here. I'm also looking at this level right here, right? I may have to go to a higher time frame because I may want to take a higher entry though, okay? However, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at where's the next stop. Because you know what usually happens, right? Market will give you the lifeline. It'll end up giving you the W. Next thing you know what I'm saying? We headed to give you the right shoulder when it comes to the three trade structure. If you look at the three straight trade structure, this kind of almost give you that vibe, right? So sometimes you may have to go to the daily so we can kind of really see this thing, right? And you got to remember, this thing has been in an uptrend for a while. So I don't got this reversal being for a long time, right? I got this thing coming in, popping us in, letting us get a little money, and then going on about its business. That's how I'm looking at this, in and out like a robbery type trade. But what stood out to me the most? What stood out to me the most, ladies and gentlemen, is this. And I'm going to show it to you. I always have to be, I'm very visual. What stood out to me, guys, is I have the trading the market patterns. I have the trading the market patterns. And what trading the market patterns, this shows me where I'm supposed to get in at. This shows me exactly where I'm supposed to get in at. It gives me the confirmations, right? The lifeline, it shows me. The inverted lifeline, it shows me where to get in at. It gives me the confirmation. So if I study this, if I train myself to see this over and over and over again, when I get on the chart, right? Because that's available for everybody. Oh my God, I've never seen that before, Kev. Where is that at? Go log into workingtowardfreedom.com. Go to the academy. It is all up under there. All those additional resources, everything you need as a beginner trader, as an intermediate trader, it's right there for you. You just got to study it so you can train yourself to see it. So how I'm looking at this, you're looking at this like, oh my God, how was he able to see that? Because I'm looking for specifics. I'm looking for market structure all the time. I'm looking for higher highs and higher lows. I'm looking for lower lows and lower highs, right? I'm looking at how the market moves. How does the market move? The market usually moves like the three trade structure. You can see it, right? So look, I'm so patient with this because I should get this rejection in this zone, right? And get about a good 40 pips, okay? A good 40 pips, but I got to be patient still. So, Mr. Howell, what is your approach to the market as a beginner? Because, I'm a beginner, I haven't been up here, or I'm a beginner, and as a result of me being a beginner, I just want to know. Well, the beautiful thing is, if you go and you log into workingtowardfreedom.com and you log into the academy is going to give you the basics, right? When you go through the academy, it's going to give you an opportunity to take a quiz, get familiar. But then also you have document PDFs, right? And these PDFs, what they have under there, these PDFs have trading the market in patterns. It has the approach to the market, my exact approach to the market. It has the market pair breakdowns. It has the trading compound plan, and it also has the lot size chart, so you know exactly what lot size is what. So you don't have to second guess. Okay? You don't have to second guess. Okay? Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, perfect. All right, I'm back. All right, cool. So, what am I looking for, Mr. Howell? I'm always looking for a left shoulder and a head. Okay? Now, let's go look at the dollar real quick, and then we're going to look at what news comes out this week, what holidays may be going on. All right? As we approach this market, looking for what? Head and shoulder patterns. Now, that market rejected that area like I knew it would. And as we know, the dollar has just not been as productive as we want it to be. It's been ranging. Okay? We'll say it's been ranging. Let me go get a horizontal line. So clearly that market has been ranging. I'll put it on the wick right here. Okay? It's been ranging. So it has not been making any type really like strong moves. And that's okay. Because we don't just depend on the dollar to make money. You just got to know when to start looking at the other pairs. Okay? Now, I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. You see that dollars get a little bit strong. Now the question is, will the dollar find resistance in this area right here? Right? Will it reverse here? Okay. Will it reverse here? Will it just play in this area? We don't know yet. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the news. So we use forexfactory.com. We use forexfactory.com. We use forexfactory.com. And when we use forexfactory.com, we're looking to see if we have any red folders, any gray folders. Like there's a bank holiday. Okay. It's Monday in the market now. Okay. So we're looking to see what news comes out. Clearly, we are approaching a new month, right? June. We're approaching the month of June. So we know, anybody knows what happens the first Friday of every month? Yep, you said it. NFP, baby. NFP. So this is one of those weeks where we always going to, be cautious, but we ain't going to be scared. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how to trade over here, right? But I am going to be looking. I'm 100% going to be looking for some really good setups this week. Let the market flow. I know the market has kind of been flowing. I've been sitting on some potential setups. We had some setups hit last week, right? Waiting for the market to move some more. But this is our approach. This is our approach in finding what news is coming out, right? So we can know how to navigate this upcoming week. Okay, this upcoming week. So I see we got USD news at 9:45. Okay, 10 o'clock. We got red folder at 10 o'clock. We start looking at Tuesday. We got Euro news on Tuesday. Okay. All right. We got news. We got jokes. Look, we got jokes on Tuesday. We got some USD news. I believe jokes is actually probably going to be a red folder on my FX book, but I'm going to look. Okay. We got ADP non-farm employment change. We got that news coming up. Just like I stated. You already know Friday, we got that good old, NFP. This is what shakes the market up, baby. I want to see, I may come up here on Friday. I may do a pop-up Friday session, just a live trading session. So just look out for that. I think I might go live on Friday. I want to see what the dollar has done. Maybe we can catch something live. You know what I'm saying? Catch something live. All right, let me go to my FX book real quick. I just want to see. This is just another site that we also use for my beginners to look for red folders. Okay, this is the fundamental aspect of things. You know what I mean? We got some Euro news, red folder, Swiss news. Okay, got that Swiss news. Got a lot of orange folders. Got a little shaky up happening. Okay. A lot of Euro news. All right, let's keep it moving. We got 10 o'clock news, so we saw that. I got a little orange folder for 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock news for USD will be live in effect. All right. Yeah, we got that Euro news, major Euro news. Got some GBP news, orange folders. All right, that may give a little shake to the Great British Pound. So I'm just looking, right? Yeah, jokes. We knew that was a. See, I told y'all, it's a red folder. It's a red folder. I know jokes. It happens every month. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, we can look at everything else later. All right, so we're looking at the dollar. Dollar ain't doing nothing for us right now. So in this case, what I do, guys, because I know what kind of news is coming out on Monday and Tuesday, I'm looking for currency pairs that I can sink my teeth in, where there's no news affecting it. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I just go to the charts. I go to the charts and I'm start looking. So clearly I can look at some GBP CAD again. Let's see, right? GBP CAD. We had GBP CAD up here. We hit take profit 2, and then the market went the opposite direction. So we already made money with that, but like me, just because that happened, don't mean we ain't got nothing brewing. Okay, so when I clear that up and I'm looking at GBP CAD, what am I looking at? Okay, I'm looking at what can I currently see on the 4-hour time frame. What I can currently see on the 4-hour time frame, okay, boom, all right, that market comes down lower, all right, perfect. Boom, market went down lower, okay, perfect. That's almost kind of in the same area, and that wick come up there, right? And then we get the market to go lower, and we got a bullish engulfing. Now that market starts coming up, right? So as I'm looking at this, and it looks like GBP CAD, or it wants to start pushing to the upside. All I'm doing is recognizing my left shoulder and my necklines. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Boom. All right. And that's a wick. I like to put them on the body right here. Okay. So what I will be waiting for, let me share this with you. What I will be waiting for, listen, I'm waiting for some sort of breakout. Now, if it don't break out and it finds resistance here, then I'll look at buying it here. Why? Because now I'm about to put this on his left shoulder. Boom, left shoulder. Boom, left shoulder. I just want to wait till it get higher. Or if the market starts to close above, then I can always catch a retest in here somewhere. Why? Because I'll be looking for the lifeline setup. But right now, I can't do nothing. However, I'm aware of what the market is doing right now. The market painted the picture of a bullish engulfing. So the market gave us a bullish engulfing, meaning that the buyers wants to be in control. We got a pullback. The market found support here. If we get another push to the upside, and we can get a nice candle, nice little, what time is it, 10? So this candle right here ends at 1. I'm probably going to be asleep. when that happens, right? But if I can wake up and I can see some sort of structure above these necklines, and I can gauge where I can get in at, then that's what I'm looking for. Okay? But I've identified inverted left shoulder, neckline. Inverted left shoulder, neckline. Right? Let's go to the line chart. The line chart will always show you. There you go. So if I can get a large candle to close above at least this neckline right here, we might have something brewing. Yeah, we might have something brewing. We most definitely might have something brewing. But I can't do nothing until then. But that's how I'm looking at the market. So for a guy like myself, all right, clearly I can label this stuff. I'm not going to label it. I know it. I can see it. However, what I'm going to do, though, is this is in the back of my mind. Well, this is at the front of my mind. Remember the GBP CAD trade? Okay, cool. I'm waiting for a breakout. So we can take this retest and take it onto the upside. Because what is the bias on GBP CAD? What is the bias on GBP CAD? Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, so I want to see what the bias is. Clearly, you all see what this bias is. This market is just moving to the side. This is nothing but sideways motion right here. This is when people look at this and be like, I ain't touching it. But the thing is we can see it, right? We can still see it when we drop down. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for market to close above, because the market came here. Market came here. Market came here. Wick. Market came here. So this zone right here, I would love to see the market close above it. Because if I can get the market to close above this zone right here, then likely I can get a retest to give me a right shoulder over here. But also it'll be a lifeline for the neckline in which the market has broken close above it. Okay? Which means if this comes and it pulls up here, I already know I'm buying here. You know, you see what I'm saying? If you guys can see it, I can see it because I know what to look for. Anytime you see areas of rejection That's where the market came all the way to. So it came up almost up here. Matter of fact, put it right here. It came up here. So it been here. It's beating up on this zone right here. Now, if I get a close above that, I know where I can take that retest. Okay? All right. What else did I call out last week? AUD USD. Waiting patiently for this. This looked like it came and this looked like it came and kind of retested. So I was looking at it and I was like, did it come in there? I was like, no, I'm still gonna rock and roll. I'm still gonna rock and roll with this right here. I'm still going to rock and roll with this right here. Let's keep that trade in. Definitely gonna keep that trade in right there, okay? So, with that being said, guys, it's 10:04. I'm gonna see you guys on the homeroom call tomorrow. Be on the lookout for an absolutely mind-blowing Monday session with me. That tomorrow evening, the live trading training. Tomorrow, I put more sauce on top of the sauce, on top of the sauce, on top of the sauce. Just know Alfredo tomorrow gonna be great. All right. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the homeroom call. For those who jump on, but most importantly, I see you guys live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Peace. On tomorrow.